Your reaction to that result? I'm guessing a little bit of relief.
This was a must win, and we knew that, and so the team responded on the pitch, and you could see the togetherness in the dressing room. It was, I think, a squad performance.
What do you think of that goal?
Oh, a great goal, and it was massive how we outplayed that. Attract over the right, bring the ball back, and then brilliant pass, brilliant movement, and a brilliant finish.
And an inspired selection of Johnny Evans.
Yeah, we have problems, and in this moment, a lot is against us about injuries, decisions, and I think we have all seen the examples. But then, we are very happy that you have a player as Johnny Evans in the squad. He comes in, he's calm. He's composed, he has character, and has a good skill set. And then you can, even when you have things against you, you can bounce back, and then you have the character in the team to do that.
Was that the place to think about Johnny's performance? That although he provided a brilliant assist, it was his presence in the defence. It seemed like a lot of the players really enjoyed playing with him and his style of leadership.
We have seen that in the training. So when he was in the summer, I heard he was to train with under 23. I said, Flats, come bring him in with the first team. Maybe he can help us. I already saw in the pre-season the shadow, the problems in the numbers in the squad, and then we decided to sign him. Because I think he can be really contributing in the squad, and today you have seen how massive important he can be. As well, we brought some energy in the team, but I thought the pressing, Rasmus Højlund and Hannibal, and togetherness, how they start the moments of the pressing, the timing was very good, in togetherness with BRUNO and with Ressi. Was very good, and I think we controlled the game in that spell because they started the pressing so well, and once they got beaten, there was a recovery, and Hannibal did that very good.
Richard? Eric, I think you said on TV that you think it could be a turning point. It has to be in the sense that after those defeats that everyone's going to get. Do you think it's something to turn it around?
I said. This is only one win, but what we have seen is first that there is togetherness, and there is unified. There is a real good spirit in the dressing room, and what we have seen is when you defend with 11 and you do it in the right moment, you run and you recognize the recovery triggers. Then it's very difficult to play against Man United, against this Man United. And that made us last season so hard to beat, that made us last season so many clean sheets. And so it's not a coincidence that today we have a clean sheet.
How much did you need that win tonight?
No, that was clear. Of course, you need that win. And we had a tough series of games with very good opponents, and we lost them. And it was not necessary to lose those games, but we lost them. And today was then a very important game. It was a must-win. We knew that.
Pluses again, but in terms of the Premier League, is it a bit like doing a 3-year degree course in a month? Is that how it's been for you?
For the players, probably. I've done 11 years in this league, so I'm fairly familiar with it. But in the end, I think it's something we enjoy. I mean, losing is hard, but if you can process it in the right way, it's the best way to learn. And our players are improving day in, day out, and the results will come. That's the belief that it has to live in you, that the results will come. And tough fixtures means tough games, but we've shown good signs, and we have to keep the performances up.
There was a lot against us, and like the injuries, but also decisions, like tonight. I call it Murphy's Law. And I'm very pleased with the spirit in the team. It shows that the dressing room is together, and they fight together, and they want to transfer the way of play on the pitch.
Well, it was a crucial win, you think, really, for Manchester United. Just the one goal, but blimey, it was a beauty, wasn't it, from Bruno Fernandes?
Absolute quality. And I think we have to say Johnny Evans as well. Wonderful ball. Fernandes, this is I think in this final third is where he's clearly at his best. People questioning him, a lot of pressure on Manchester United tonight. I mean, the quality of the ball from Johnny Evans. And this is Fernandes here. He just wants to be in that area. Look at his body shape here. Lovely little clipped-in ball. And this, it just shorts his beak out beautifully. It comes over his shoulder. The accuracy of this and the degree of difficulty as well. I mean, a wonderful ball. This is Johnny Evans, left foot. Little clip in there. People wondered about this signing. I thought it was a brave signing, Johnny Evans, but ideal player for this type of situation. On his wrong foot, by the way, and then this
That's
to
his
match.
first assist for Manchester United since 2013.
Wow. But
That
Gary,
is a
I mean,
beautiful finish.
it
by
is,
the way.
isn't it? And
Beautiful.
how about that? It keeps his eyes on the ball. Made it look so simple, but a really important goal for
Yeah.
Manchester United.
The young Trafford had no chance of saving that from the man from Old Trafford.
No.
He's only scored the one goal so far, and that was in Europe. But he looks to me like he will score goals. I like his movement.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought, the goal in midweek will do him the world of good. And today, although he didn't score, he got in positions that I always think a striker should be in. And on another day, he's going to get goals because he keeps making really good runs. And actually, the rest of his game's pretty good too. So lots of positives from United for this today. Nice and strong. He's tough. We've seen that early in his infancy in a United shirt. He likes putting himself about. I love this. So you're going to show yourself wide. Make the effort. Get in there. Then you can have runners off him. He decides to go himself. Maybe a little bit greedy, but still, I like the movement. I like the thinking behind it. In here, desire to get ahead of the defender. Yes, the flag went up, but he's still getting in the right places. And this is the one. Great little bit of movement to the near post. One you loved yourself, Gary, and he nearly got his toe on it. And they're the type of thing, they're the type of movements that will get you goals.
Correct.
He's playing again in the right position, gets the ball out wide, and then he's in the box again. Looking for little bits. Brilliant defending stops him scoring. And even these things, these are important when you're playing away from home in the Premier League. Later in the game, you've got to be reliable, you've got to bring others into play. He's not scared of doing it. He doesn't mind doing that hard work. And Ten Hag, I think, really wants that from his striker, somebody who's able to run down the channels and do a bit of this, which is pressing. And you see the United fans clapping him after this, because this is late in the game. Look, that's what he wants. Someone who's prepared not only to work really hard, but have the quality to bring others into play. And if he keeps doing that and getting more confident, because he's a young guy still, I think you're right, he's going to score goals.
Tough start it's been for Burnley. Can you see a way through this?
Well, one or two good signs, wasn't it? Koleosho was really quick out on the wing, looked decent. Lots of passing, but it's in that final third where they just don't seem to have enough opportunities on goal, and that's where they need to improve big time. Just 1 point, of
Foster
course.
was suspended, and he looked a handful.
He's been really good for them. It was a blow, so they need to get him back soon. But yeah, some positives in the first half. They played some good stuff.
Oh, that was a lovely touch, wasn't it? I mean, it was an absolute class and quality pass, wasn't it, for Bruno Fernandes?
His English is coming on as well, Johnny Evans. No, it was a great pass, fantastic off his left foot. You know, it's too much room. Player of that quality, good running behind. They had the high line there. Gets his head up, sees Bruno's movement, straight line run, and it's all. I mean, the pass looks great because of the finish is exquisite. I mean, it's a fantastic finish, isn't it? Magnificent.
One of the best of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to say that ball with your weaker foot is stunning. You know, he wants it. It lands softly for Bruno, but it seems right. I mean, the finish is. I think he's the only player in that team that scores that goal. Fernandes, and his timing of his runs. It's really, really good. So happy for Johnny Evans, by the way. Probably should have never left the football club, in a way. And you know, he's done brilliant. I think they needed his experience back there, but he showed a bit of leadership, you know, a bit of quality in some big moments, and that's he'll be delighted.
Yeah, and considering actually when we saw the team sheet, I know they didn't have many options, but to see Johnny Evans on the team sheet for the first time, his first start since 2014, I think a lot of the fans were thinking, oh, okay. But actually, he was under a little bit of pressure, but to deliver that pass was brilliant for him. Give him bags of confidence.
Pass. To be involved in the winning goals was fantastic. He wasn't tested too much defensively tonight. A lot of possession from Burnley. Yes, they controlled the football, but they didn't move it forward too many times. You know, they kept it in really unoffensive areas for Manchester United, really. Just let them play it in front of them. Man United couldn't get the ball off them, but they wasn't penetrating at all, really. They had a couple of half chances in the first half. Onana was equal to any opportunities they had on target. So I think in the end, I would suggest that Man United have got the best players, obviously, and probably nicked the result because they looked more potent when they went forward.
And of course, that goal was everything. It was the goal that separated the two sides. Something Van Persie-esque about it, Owen?
Yeah, I think any United fan before, and obviously this is probably, this is such a stunning, everything about that. The pass is perfect, lands softly, but it's all about the finish from Robin. To be patient,
wow,
that's what you dream of, everything, the pass, the finish.
It's Van Persie's, you know, all them yesteryears for them Man United fans.
And I think that's what all the fans keep saying.
Yeah, they
that's
keep
what
looking back to
revisit.
all them greats, you know, lifting trophies at the end of the season, but, you know, they're miles away from that at the moment.
What do they need to get themselves back?
About £1 billion, but they spent that. I don't know what on, you know, got worse since last season. They need to keep at it. They need to find some more players.
Can the manager unlock more in these players? Surely he can.
I think so. He needs to get more out of them. Yeah.
I was trying to be optimistic, but Tim's just he's putting it away here, isn't he?
I'm being realistic.
No, you are. Yeah.
I want them to be great again. I really love Manchester United to be great and want them to challenge.
And we were kind of on track last season, weren't we?
It was improving, wasn't it? But we seem to have gone backwards. And I know there's been a lot of injuries, but I mean, they keep pointing to the injuries. But when they play in the likes of Brighton's, with respect, Brighton are a very good team. We've got a top manager in De Zerbi. Keep finding these little gems. Why ain't Man United finding these gems? Why aren't they?
They don't fish in those pools, though, do they? They fish in different pools.
Yeah, but what pools are they fishing in? They've got someone like Haaland. He could be a good player in the end, but he's a development player. For me, Manchester United are a team down the years who would have gone last season, right, we're going to improve. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go and sign Declan Rice, so we're going to sign Harry Kane. Just take Harry Kane would have had a choice, and nor would Declan Rice. Many years ago, they would have just said, we're coming to Man United, because there's still a big pull. I believe there's still a big pull, but they need to go and do the deal with them clubs and then get the individual players. If they would have signed them two players, they're in the right direction. But I just think that there is no structure there at the moment. There is no playing style of play. You've got to rely on people like Bruno to win your games with a piece of magic.
It is, of course, on to the next game. And I guess the biggest thing for him is that he hopes that his team can build on it and make it back-to-back wins and build some momentum in the side.
Absolutely. That's all you can do. You get some confidence, and that, you mentioned it there from the result. I mean, Eric's just said there, they won the game because of team spirit. They won the game because of a fantastic pass off Johnny Evans' left foot and a wonderful, world-class finish from Bruno Fernandes. Team spirit, you're playing for Man United, you're playing for that shirt, that great shirt. Team spirit always has to be there. That shouldn't be questioned. But why is he highlighting the fact that it's team spirit? That's an indictment, I say, a sad one, in the fact that they haven't been playing with team spirit when they lose football matches. It should be. You're playing for Man United, Owen. You've been there. When you play for that shirt, you leave everything on the pitch. And they should do that all of the time. That should be a given. You know, you shouldn't highlight the fact that team spirit is the way. They got a result there against a newly promoted Burnley side. Forget, they've got good patterns and they do this, they do that. They haven't won a game. They don't look like winning a game in the Premier League. So they need to calm down a little bit. But you're absolutely right, Zima. It's a start. It's a stepping stone. It's 3 points. And they need to move on.
It's team spirit that's been missing for you as well, Owen?
I'm not sure it's team spirit. I mean, the reason Sir Alex signed players is because he knew they'd be there when the chips were down. And that's why you sign players. You don't sign them when it's easy. You sign them when it's difficult. They seem to have a lot of issues on and off the pitch. Looked like Eric fixed a lot of those last year, and rather than finish, they were going to push Manchester City and keep up for the Premier League title. That's almost gone. They're 9 points behind them at this stage, so that looks unrealistic. But I do think they need to. Obviously, Varane came back. That's big. Get Luke Shaw back. That's big. MRBEAR came on. That could be a plus. The young Kobe Manu, I think he's going to be a big player this season. So I do think they're missing a lot of key players, and I think fixture-wise, they've had a tough run. I know they shouldn't be losing 3 games after 6. I think they got Palace next. And then I think they got Brentford in there. So, you'd like to think that 3 or 4 games, they could go on a little winning run, get 9 points, and then the table looks different. But we all thought they'd compete for the biggest trophies this year. Yeah. And that doesn't look like it's realistic at this stage.
I think a real positive from that performance, when I look at the individual performances of Man United players, Hannibal, I thought was good.
Yeah.
I think he was brave. He looked for the ball wherever he was. Out of position, he looked like he was going with urgency to go and get it back. I think he had a great game, and I think he can only get better. I just hope he stays in the side now, because he earned the right tonight to stay in the team, rather than one of the superstars comes back and gets picked ahead of him, which is not good for morale and team spirit.
another positive to take is the clean sheet. And we spoke about Onana pre-match, the fact that he has dominated the headlines. It's been a very tough start for him. How much of a relief will it be for him that he has kept the clean sheet tonight?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a relief because this guy's, you know, he's won trophies. Yeah. You know, he's been to a Champions League final. You know, he's won the league in Italy, he's won the league in Holland.
So why has it been such a tough start for him?
Look, he's got to settle in. He made a mistake. It can happen. You know, ball can take a bounce, take a ricochet. You know, it was a bad goal he conceded. He knew that. You could tell by the way how disappointed he was. I mean, you just got a couple of clips from the game where he brought him into, you know, because he's brilliant with his feet. His passing's unbelievable. Maybe they just wanted to be a little bit more direct, but I thought today he played pretty much perfect. I thought against Bayern he played perfect outside of the box. And we've seen him being exceptional in the Champions League. So he's a top goalkeeper, no question about that. He just got off to a tricky start.
Yeah.
I don't worry about him at all. I really don't. I think if you're going to be a goalkeeper for Manchester United, you need a personality, and I think this kid's got it in spades. I think he sticks his shoulder out, wants to take responsibility. I think he is a very good option for him. But to pinpoint the only reason they wanted him is because he's better on his feet than De Gea. I think they need to show that as a team, the patterns and their methods moving forward, because he's got no one to pass it to at the moment. They're splitting there, the two centre-backs, they're giving it back to him and he's just kicking it up the field.
Do they have what it takes to play out from the back?
Not at the moment.
Can they learn?
They've got the players certainly to do it, but they're not working on it enough. They're not showing it. We're not showing methods. All they're doing tonight is pretending to pass it, getting it back, and he's kicking it up the field. De Gea could have done that. I mean, he played. I don't worry about him one iota. I think this guy has got a personality to play for Manchester United, and I think that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, you're right, actually, because last season we watched him, didn't we, a lot in the Champions League. They kept 8 clean sheets en route to that final. So he clearly has the quality. But I guess, as you said, and we were talking about newly promoted sides and how difficult it is even coming into the Premier League, it's difficult for players coming into the Premier League, including goalkeepers, because they're facing different opposition.
Yeah, and I do think, look, he's played for some massive shows, you know, Ajax and Inter. But it may be just with the scrutiny around Manchester United, I think from the outside, he won than he did against Bayern Munich. I think he just got unlucky, just didn't get his feet right. But I'm with Tim. I think he's a top goalie, and he'll be just fine in this team. But I'm with Tim in the sense they've got to figure out some patterns, you know, that in terms of keeping the ball. Onana will find people, but they need to be in the right position. Like Brighton, watch Brighton pass out from the back. Everybody's where they need to be, and that's why they keep it so well. I think for United now, it's more reactive than the structures there.
Brighton and Man City are the best patterns you can see playing out from the back, and it's why they've got the best managers.
And they have more than one way of playing as well.
Yeah, but it's not just personnel, it's not just the individual players, it's about they're being taught, they're being told. So there's different ways to play and figure out with the opposition you're playing against.
They've got plan A, B, C, D,
Absolutely.
E. It depends on where you press.
In game as well.
Yeah, they're flexible. They can move to it. They're not, this is our way and that is it. And I just think at the moment, for a big club like Man United, I think by now, you know, Eric's been there a while, we should see them type of patterns, and we're not.
Never easy for a newly promoted club, as we've been saying. They are bottom of the table, although they actually had more possession in that game, over 60%, which surprised us actually when we looked at half-time. It was pretty similar. But look, there they are, bottom of the Premier League table. They need to turn these performances that we're seeing into points if they are to survive. I wonder, though, whether you think that they deserved a penalty in this match. I mean, Vincent Kompany didn't mention it there, but what do you think, Tim?
I think it'd be soft. Players, I think it would have been very soft if it was given. But it's worth mentioning. I thought maybe Vinny would have mentioned that. But there's Onana.
Sometimes, I guess, sometimes a manager, you're clutching at something, aren't you? You're trying, you know, considering for a promoted team, but you just need maybe have a little bit less.
Yeah.
But just be a bit more efficient in the final third. They keep the ball really, really well.
Yeah.
But they got to get it in the box more. The problem is, we said before the game, United are a big side, Burnley aren't. They don't have, so they can't really cross it because they don't have a physical presence. So everything's got to be perfect. And I think that's really difficult. With the way they keep the ball, teams are able to get in behind them and get bodies. So it's when they score, it's going to have to be perfect. And that's hard. That's hard in this league.
Positive to build on for them then moving forward. Looking at their fixture list, they're away to Newcastle.
Not positive.
That's not, but they play Luton. Big game for them coming up, and then they're at home to Chelsea.
Yeah, well, the Luton game is a must-win. You know, it's a cup final now, even this early on in the season, because not only the 3 points we would give them, but it's the confidence moving forward to the rest of the season. It's a very difficult league. Last year, they were the best team to manage in the Championship because they had the best players. This year, they haven't got the best players. It's going to be hard work for them to stay in the Premier League.
Do you think they'll stay in the Premier League?
I think they could win 2 of those, and if they win 2 of those, they kind of go to a mid-table side. But they need to find a way to get the first win and get 3 points.
Okay. Well, on that note, it's time for us to say goodbye. My thanks to both of you. It's been a pleasure having your company. Thank you for your company as well. As Manchester United are back to winning ways to go back into the top half of the table. See you soon. So it was a huge win for Manchester United. Picking up the 3 points, keeping the clean sheet, great for momentum because they really needed to pick up 3 points. But I think there's only one place to start, and that's a fantastic goal, Owen.
Probably goal of the season contender so far. Bruno Fernandes with an absolute perfect finish. He's probably the only player in this United side that will probably score this, but we have to credit Johnny Evans. The way to this with his weaker left foot is absolutely perfect. And Bruno does so well to just be patient and let this come over his shoulder. Initially, this is what he does really well. He makes great forward runs. The timing of that, stay on side, but just be patient, let that fall onto his foot. Most players would snatch at that and hit it left, but Bruno, Tim, he just does that perfectly and hits it clean.
Wonderful technique. Owen's absolutely right. He watches it come over his shoulder. And it's the timing of it. You know, it's like a paintbrush, just whips through it. It's great technique. World-class player. You know, world-class player who's underachieved like the team has this season. But hopefully that'll give them the confidence to go on and build some real important results. Let's face it. I mean, they're playing Burnley. Burnley have got 1 point.
Still felt like a huge win for them.
It feels a huge win, and it's absolutely a huge win. But you know, they got, what is it, 62% for Burnley. You know, they controlled the game. I think United have got more penetration. That's what they've got there, and they've got world-class players. So for me, the best players beat the best team there tonight.
Okay, actually, talking of the goal, I don't know what the Man United fans watching think, but it certainly reminds us all of a certain Van Persie goal, does it not?
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I just thought Van Persie. Wayne really used to love doing this. He used to love just dropping and passing the ball. But when they had Robin at the top of the pitch, wow. I mean, imagine that 2 touches from 60 yards, Tim. I mean, that's just, like Tim said, that's what you get with world-class players. Can decide a game in the blink of an eye. That is just picture-perfect technique.
And Tim, those are the days that Manchester United fans keep remembering.
The Rooney, Van Persie, you know, these are when they were picking up trophies. They're miles away from that at the moment, but this will help. This will help with confidence, certainly, but wonderful strike from Bruno. You know, I think he's been a fantastic signing for Manchester United since he's been at the club, and we can't say that about a lot of their signings.
As for Johnny Evans, there was a disallowed goal. What did we make of that? Was the right decision made?
Yeah, I think that's why we've got technology, is to tidy these things up. Initially, you look at it, you think, what a ball in from Reguilon, by the way. Hits in the perfect area. Just too big, too strong. Great header from Johnny Evans there. But we just see there Højlund there on the goalkeeper. You know, he's obstructed him, he's offside. Goalkeeper can't see it. So there's a lot going on with it. Yeah. And the referees looked at it and they got it right and rightly chalked it off.
Yeah. Good use of VAR, that. Very good. I mean, certainly obstructing the goalkeeper. Trafford. Højlund's in the offside position. Correct decision.
Now, we spoke about how important the result was, not only for the 3 points, but the clean sheet as well. Yeah. And that would have given Onana a lot of confidence as well, because he...
Well, though, under the floodlights, Manchester United ended a run of 3 straight defeats, beating Burnley 1-0 thanks to a stunning volley from Bruno Fernandes. And who better to analyse it than a man here who knows his way around a volley? You've scored a few of these yourself, Peter. This being one of them. We've dug this out of the archives.
Dug this out of the archives. Listen, I used to love volleying. It was, you know...
Wow.
It was the practice day in, day out. They didn't always fly in like that, I have to admit, but always appreciate a good volley.
Within 10 seconds, he was onto the research team. You know my goal I scored for Stoke.
I had no idea that was coming up, but I'm pleased it was.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the winner because Yaya Touré equalised in that game. They're absolutely brilliant. But how good was the technique from Bruno Fernandes in this game?
No, it was like I say, it was just great to watch. Like I was a young player watching the volleys like that all the time. I just used to go and practice it in the garden. Just a great ball from Johnny Evans and fantastic technique. Remember that one Van Persie scored? It wasn't quite on that level, but just beautiful technique.
You have to practice though, don't you? This just doesn't happen overnight.
No, without doubt. I mean, to watch the flight of the ball for that long, it's easy to take your eye off it, and then to get the technique correct as well. There's so many moving parts that can go wrong, and it was fantastic from Bruno Fernandes.
It really was a goal worthy of any win, I think. Let's get the thoughts of the Burnley manager now, because Vincent Kompany has been chatting to Jules.
Vincent, it was another good performance, but without the points to show for it. How do you sum it up?
Yeah, it feels like a week of good performances, but maybe not the rewards. But in the end, for us, it's, you look at the amount of players that we have to blend into the squad, and some of the guys that we've put on today, and you know, it's just looking upwards. I think for us it was important to have a complete performance. We did, but there's a couple of moments where I'm thinking if that goes in, then it rewards us a little bit. But we go again. It's a tough start, tough schedule to start with, and we'll find our moments.
What did you make of the opportunities you created tonight? Because as you say, there were some really good performances out there. Koleosho stood out particularly.
Yeah, I could name a few, but you know, you play against let's put it this way, a wounded giant, you know, and it's always difficult. It's always something that you have to be a little bit wary of. But I thought Burnley did itself proud today, and on another day we get more points. But I think the way we have it, the mentality we have is just to go again. It doesn't put us back anything. It gives us confidence to go again.
Was the timing of their goal frustrating just before half-time? Do you feel like it could have been preventable?
Yeah, definitely. But you know, I think that's where we're at the moment. So work in progress, but good signs, and the belief that as a result of the work we will get the rewards.
Yeah, we do keep talking about the positives in their performances, don't we, and the good things, but that's only going to be good for so long, Rio. They're going to have to start picking up some points.
Yeah, they are. I mean, today they had the most amount of passes in the game this season. So it tells you there's elements of their game that is working, and I think that's up until they get to the final third. They get to around the penalty box. They haven't got that killer instinct. There isn't that sharp edge in this team at the moment. We saw that so many times today. Great work in and around the midfield area, out wide especially, and then just that Peter Crouch in there. Someone with that devilment in there to get into the 6-yard box to really punish the opponents when they've got them under the cosh.
Is it just a personnel thing, do you think, Peter, in the final third?
Yeah, perhaps. It's just, it's kind of a mentality, isn't it? I think, like, Amdouni especially, you know, they've got Amdouni, look where he is there. I mean, it feels to me like he wants to be a number 10. Doesn't look like he wants to be a centre-forward, and I think, you know, quite often they haven't got that person in the box just to kill things off, and they've got so much. There's so much to admire about Burnley. Let's just think about the culture shift. Like this, for instance, like Rodriguez outside the box. Like for me, he's just got to be closer. He's got to be closer. And I think there's another one we're about to see in a minute where it was a fantastic ball from the right-hand side. I just don't know why he moves away from the box. Like when I used to play, when the ball went out wide like that, my eyes light up. I'm thinking, get in the box, and he's a good 10, 15 yards away from the penalty spot, and you know, there's a tap in there.
I think when as a defender, when there's a number 9 up there, it occupies a centre back. It distracts players. Today they didn't have that. The two centre backs never really disturbed at all, and I think that'll be a disappointing element from the manager company, because I think, as I said, it isn't often when you're going to get loads and loads of possession and loads of opportunities to put the ball in the box and put the opposition under pressure the way they did today. So many passes, so much time and opportunity, just not that development we're talking about in the team. And so they have to change that, whether it's personnel or just mindset. As Crouchy said, you've got players, you've got strikers in there. Get their habits in the right way, which is getting in and around the box.
I have to say, there's so much to admire from Burnley.
Yeah.
You know, they do pass the ball so well. They've got so many talented individuals, and it's been such a change in the way they play. You know,
got to be ugly a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, at times.
It used to be ugly.
You know, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was.
Oh.
Will it be hard though to make sure that this doesn't affect confidence? This run that they're on, still waiting for that first win, and they've gone bottom with that defeat as well.
Listen, it will do. It will do. They'll have to be positive. There's lots of good things in there, and I think there's been a huge change. I mean, under Sean Dyche, they would have had, you know, the least possession in the league. They go to having loads of possession. They're playing football in the right manner. The fans are enjoying it, but they have to get results. So, you know, they can't be sitting bottom of the league. But having said that, they have had tough games to play as well.
And they've got to get them here, haven't they? They've already lost 4 home games. We saw just how important that was to, like, Nottingham Forest last season, Rio, and keeping them in the league.
If they get a couple of results here, this place could be a fortress. We saw before the game, we stood over there where the tunnel is. The noise that before the game started, we were all standing there going, oh, this is unbelievable. This is what the Premier League's about. So if they can keep the temperature warm and hot in here and get a couple of results, things can change very quickly. We just seen with Man United there today, they've been under the cosh in terms of the narrative around the club. 3 points today. They're going to be bouncing into that training ground tomorrow. Changes the dynamics of the football club. It can happen here at Burnley too.
And they've got 4 of the next 5 away, as you can see on the screen there. They're away at Newcastle and Luton. Then they welcome Chelsea here. Then it's Brentford and Bournemouth. Peter, do you think we could be sort of chatting at the end of November, say that they've turned this around?
Well, easily, like you say, you can change it very, very quickly. You know, if United had lost today, you know, they'd have been right under it. You know, the fans, it would have been difficult for them to walk off this pitch. It's a long old walk. You know, the fans wouldn't have been happy with it. They've won. Everything's changed. You know, the outlook's changed. People are smiling and laughing. You see them walking about, and it's the same for Burnley. They've got quality players in the team that can turn this around very quickly, and there are some winnable games there.
Do Manchester United kick on now, Rio, and turn their season around? Could that be the catalyst?
I hope so. I think that's what you look for. In moments like this, when you're looking for a result, you're looking to change the dial at the club, you need a result to do that. Not necessarily a performance. And I think that's what's got to happen in that change room. There's got to be leaders and there's got to be people on the staff that are really talking this type of performance up. Because this can be a difficult place. If you don't start right and you're not mentally correct and you're not concentrating on these games, these are banana skins. And they've navigated their way through this really, really well today. No real big scares in this game. And they've had a moment of brilliance from one of their top players. So a lot to build on from this game, but they're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, they've got Palace, Brentford and Sheffield United coming up. So they'll probably sense, Peter, do you think, a real opportunity to turn the corner?
Yeah, I think so. Like you say, there's games there that you'd expect them. You know, I think the Nottingham Forest game, for instance, like that's the team in and around them. You know, games against Manchester United, they're not. You know, it's not their bread and butter. They need to be winning those games at the Forest, at Luton's. You know, teams in and around them if they want to stay up.
Whatsoever on that front here at Old Trafford. I'm Derek Ray, joined by Lee Dixon in the commentary position, and we've got Premier League action coming right up. It is Manchester United facing Burnley.
Yeah, thanks Derek, as always. Pleasure to be here. I have to say, the atmosphere is fantastic in here, and I'm anticipating a really good game today. Hopefully, we won't be disappointed.
Chris Wood. This looks promising. Tackling and winning the ball to boot. And the referee blows the whistle. It is a free kick. A header it was, but a pretty straightforward save, Lee.
Well, it's an easy header, Derek, and he made it look really difficult.
Rashford. Immaculately placed by Cavani. Just couldn't capitalise there. Charlie Taylor. Josh Brownhill. Getting in there to take it away. Well, he's a player who just seems to get better and better. I'm talking, it might be a chance here. Rashford! A truly magnificent start. An early goal in the game. Just what they were hoping to produce.
Well, here's the replay, and as we can see, the defence can't cope with the through ball, and a 2v1 is never fair. To be honest with you, the keeper's got no chance to stop this. It's lovely football.
Ben Mee. And a poor ball. Well, can they be creative from here? Chances on. Speculative ball fired to the near post. An opportunity with the header, but not troubling the goalkeeper at all, Lee.
Well, I'll say one thing. Technique, and he didn't have any.
Greenwood. How about the cross? Can he finish? Able defending, and a goal here for Manchester United. They are the big favourites now.
Well, it's good play. Ian Wright always told me, stand in the middle of the goal. It sounds simple, but you don't have to get a lot of goals from that position.
A chance to revisit the goal.